Philippines is really set up for
Mhm.
remote work. People are really surprised. You mean you have team members in the Philippines? Yeah, we have actually
Right.
32 or 33.
Way back when I was working at a call center, my trainer asked me, if you will be given a power, what would it be? I wanted to have a power where I can work and at the same time see what my son is doing. This is the advantage of working from home. It's just that you have to make sure that there is boundaries, that they know that when it's work time, that it's work time.
Hey, this is Eric, and I'm here for the very first episode of the Offsite Team podcast. I'm here with April, and we both lead a DME business. And the problem with DME businesses is leaders are trying to find dependable, affordable employees. And here at Offsite Team Member, we are your reliable workplace solution for DME, for the DME and respiratory industry. So at Offsite Team Member, we understand the challenges faced by the DME industry, which is basically to find dependable and affordable employees who also know how to use Brightree. So here with April, the two of us, we've created a revolutionary workforce solution that resolves the problem of enabling DME businesses to thrive with a reliable and cost-effective team. So here with this podcast, I'm here with April, and we're just going to chit-chat a little bit. How are you today, April?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It is Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock when we
Yes.
are recording this, and you're outside of Manila. What time is it there?
Right now, it's currently 7:09 in the morning. So
So
the
you're
sun is
drinking your
out.
morning coffee, and I'm at
Yes.
afternoon, and you're used to this. Tell me a little bit about yourself, April. How long have you been working? You're the president of Offsite Team, but you also work for
Right.
Howard's Medical, Howard's Medical is a US-based durable medical equipment company, and we have 32 team members in the Philippines who helps us in our 5 locations. So tell me a little bit, what's a typical week look like for you as you help Howard's Medical out?
So I started working for Howard 4 years ago. I've been with the company for 4 years now.
Mhm.
I started working as a documentations team member and then worked my way up. I was nominated as one of the senior team member after my
And you
6
went
months
senior
with
team
Howard.
member, and then you
Yes.
became team
And then
member,
became a team
and now
lead.
you're the president of Offsite Team.
Yes.
It's like you're doing a really good job.
Thank you so much, sir. But on an 8-hour work right now, aside from working on some documentations, I try to make myself refresh every time. So even though I'm no longer working on documentations, I also get the chance to work on that just to make sure I know the trend, I know what's going on, and to make the team know that they're not just the one who's working, who knows everything. That way I can be very helpful for them.
Yeah, and you have been that for us.
Mhm.
So, one of the things that Howard's Medical, we have 5 locations across Central Washington. One of the problems I faced as co-owner as well as CEO of Howard's is finding trustworthy employees. Imagine it's so hard as a leader to find and operate a business that runs smoothly with a team that consistently delivers excellence. And that's kind of what the Offsite Team has allowed us to do. And people are really surprised. You mean you have team members in the Philippines? Yeah, we have actually
Right.
32 or 33 or whatever the number is. Now, tell me a little bit about the Philippines. So, I've been there twice. So
Right.
in my role as owner of Offsite Team is we go to the Philippines every single year to help teach our staff as well as interact. So just tell me a little bit, what's it like in the Philippines?
Employment in the Philippines is actually almost the same as what we're doing. It's just that we are going to the office and we are working from home, as you can see. But I think for the most part, the difference between working in a local company over us here at Offsite Team is that we value our team members. And when we talk about loyalty, I think that's one of those things that even myself is I'm looking for, which is why I've been here for quite a long time, same as all the other team members. A lot of
I
team
love how you
members.
bring up loyalty, because one of the frustrations in the States is we will hire someone, we'll train them, and then they just leave and go on to another job. Now, I have certain team members at Howard's that have worked here well over 10 years, but I also have other customer service reps or other, I swear it takes us 3 months to hire someone. We train them, and then they might leave at 6 months or even 2 years or 3 years. I was going back and looking at all the Offsite team members. So you've been with us over 4 years, and we have only had 4 team members. I think it's 4 actually leave us.
Yes,
in
correct.
4+ years. So of the, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, no wonder why we're doing so well as a company is once we
Mm-hmm.
train, they stay with us,
That is
which
right.
is really, it's great for us as a business. And you want long-term job stability too.
Yes.
Let's bring up family because we can talk
Mm,
about
sure.
family. So what are some of the benefits of, so you're actually in your house, right?
Yes, that is
And your
right.
husband works for us. And
That
so
is
what are the
correct.
benefits of being able to work from home for you?
So you see, there's a story behind. Way back when I was working at a call center, my trainer asked me, if you will be given a power, what would it be? And then at that time, I just gave birth. My son is like 5 months old when I returned from maternity leave, and I was like, I wanted to have a power where I can work and at the same time see what my son is doing. That
Mm,
way, I can see him. And then this came in. So I think this is the advantage of working from home. You will
mhm.
get to do your work, and at the same time, you will get to see your family. It's just that you have to make sure that there is boundaries, that they know that when it's work time, that it's work time.
Mm-hmm.
It's good that I can see them, but it doesn't mean that I can attend to them whenever I'm working. So, just setting boundaries from the
And it's one
beginning.
thing, the typical person works about 8 hours in a day,
Hmm.
but if you were to work in central Manila, it would take you an hour to get to work. You would have
That is
your
right.
8 hours at work, and you throw in lunch there, 9 hours, then
Hmm.
you another hour going home. You wouldn't get to see your kids, would
Yes,
you?
that is correct.
Mhm.
Imagine the traffic. You've been
Oh,
here,
I've been here.
right?
The traffic is
So,
horrendous.
yeah, so that's one of the struggles working locally. So it was
Hmm.
really hard because you could have been spending your time with your family. So if you're
Absolutely.
working from home, it's
Absolutely.
nice.
With Offsite Team, a lot, what we offer is we offer a back end office solution. And so you've
Mm-hmm.
been to the States. So I've been to the Philippines twice. You came out and visited us 2 or 3 months ago. And the
Mm-hmm.
plan is, you and other Offsite team members, you guys do come to the States to get continuing education and training, which is really, really helpful. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like you're just some random biller in the corner. So you've
Correct.
been on the showroom floor, you've interacted with our team members. How
Mm-hmm.
helpful was it for you to come to the United States and actually work in our DME for a week? And how has that helped you going back to the Philippines?
After the week that we've been there, the week that we work in Yakima and all of the other five locations. So when we came back, there's this realization that I realized that going in there, seeing what they're doing, knowing what goes around behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel appreciate, and at the same time it connects the gap in between. So just basically working alongside with the on-site, you know what they're doing. So when I get there, I already know, it gives me more understanding that
Mm-hmm.
if they're not able to answer right away, I can just wait. They're probably just busy because there's a lot of patients coming into the store.
And you
Just
saw that.
that would be,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
And even right
that's
before
one of
this,
the
and right
examples.
before this podcast, I walked out to our showroom and we have a lineup and
Hmm.
all of our CSRs, they are working nonstop with our customers, which is
Hmm.
makes me thrilled. This is absolutely wonderful. We have so many customers. It's a great problem to have. This episode, hey, why the Philippines? Why did we choose, let's say, the Philippines to
Hmm.
have some extra office staff as compared to maybe a workforce that only has team members in the United States? Or we
Hmm.
could have actually, I know of other companies, they will use offsite employees out of India, or I've even heard of the country of Georgia. There's a lot of different companies where people can work remote. So the number one thing, why do we choose the Philippines over the other companies?
I'm very proud to say that it's because we speak the language, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't try to, it's not hard for us to speak the language, and at the same time, we can comprehend well. So it's not just
Mm-hmm.
communication, there has to be a comprehension in between.
Everyone, or almost, I think it's like 90% of people in the
Mhm.
Philippines speak English. Now, is all your schooling was done in English? Is that right?
So there is the Tagalog, but I would consider that English is one of our subject that there is from the beginning. When you start kindergarten, there's English up to college. So you'll be English, basic English, and then in
Mm-hmm.
college, business English. So that's how it is. So it's
Business.
part of
Mm-hmm.
curricular in the Philippines education.
Yeah, and your English is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So, number one, why the Philippines? Everyone speaks English that we hire, and not only that, it's good English. I remember when I was trying to figure out, okay, we're going to use employees from the country of Georgia, India, or the Philippines. The number one reason we chose to work with the Philippines, hands down, your English was the best of everyone that we were interacting with, which was that. Number two, I said your community is set up to work remotely. So how prevalent is I don't want to call it offshoring, that's what you would hear. How prevalent is remote work in the Philippines?
Right now, it's a booming industry in the Philippines. Before, it was all on site, but then during the pandemic, when the pandemic hits, there is a lot of offshore jobs, I would say. And they figured that even though it's a third world country, as you can see, the internet is stable, so there's no problems with the connection. And at the same time, I would say the culture itself, how we do work. So even if we're having problems, I think it's the culture, because we can handle everything. Like I can work even with having personal issues. So I think that's one of the most.
Yeah, it's really, so not only, we have well over 30 offsite team members in our company, but when I've gone to the Philippines twice, interacting with other employees, their spouses or significant others, they're all working like, oh, my spouse works for this company in Australia, my spouse works for this company, and all around the world. So the Philippines is really set up for remote work.
Right.
And the third, and this is you don't know this question's coming, but if we don't like it, we'll just wipe it out. But in my opinion, most people in the Philippines see Americans in a positive light. Am I right or wrong when I say that? And how come is that the case?
So even with myself, it's a dream to go to America. So when I had the chance, I was like, oh my God, this is like a dream come true. Like my college heart, when I was in college, this is my dream. This is my goal. Because we see Americans as one of those in the first world country that we look up to them, I would say. And there's a relationship in between Philippines and the Americans. So you have your troops coming in here to help training our military.
It goes all the way back to World War II and what happened then.
That is right. So I think it started with that one. And we see that it's not like an enemy. We see that it's helped, especially in providing a lot of works for the Philippines. Remember when I was working in a BPO company, it's an American company.
And BPO now, for those listening to the podcast, what does BPO stand for?
It's business process outsource. Basically.
And so you'll in the Philippines, and that's what we have in the Philippines. We actually have our own business. BPO stands for business
process outsource.
So we have our own Philippines-based company, and then we have a US-based company. And basically that's how we obey all Philippine laws. And that's essentially how you are paid. But some of them, you work in office buildings. We just allow our staff to work directly from home, which really helps you and your family, doesn't it?
Yes, very helpful.
So, it's one of those things I was thinking, how does the offsite team work? And April knows this because April oversees all 30 plus team members that we have. And, why do we use the term team members instead of employees? So those listening to the podcast will hear offsite team members versus offsite employees. Why team members instead of employees? So
because the team members is that we work as a team. Everyone contributes as a result. We work as a team. We help one another. And employees, I would say it's because it's just the job.
Yeah.
So
we don't want team members or people who show up and just it's a job. We want actually engaged team members. And one of the things for those that are listening may or may not know, basketball is huge in the Philippines. You guys have basketball courts everywhere. A great basketball team, it's all about teamwork, passing the ball, running the floor. Same thing with a great organization. It's all about teamwork. So how does offsite team work? Well, there's basically 5 things that April and I do with the offsite team. Number 1 is we streamline the recruitment process. Because we have Howard's on this side, for those other companies looking, hey, I might need 1 or 2 workers, or I might need a fax wrangler, or I might need a confirmer. The team members that they'll be hiring from offsite team have spent typically at least 3 months working for Howard's. So they come to Howard's, they work for Howard's, they learn Brightree. We have vetted them. Sometimes we will hire them and they don't make it through the probationary period. Those are not getting placed in other organizations. only ones that have gone through our probationary period. We've streamlined the recruitment process. We have a very extensive talent pool. We just hired a few new team members. What do we get? Like hundreds of applicants. Absolutely hundreds of applicants. Who are you looking for when you hire team members? How do you decide? Because I literally saw all the resumes you went through. How did you decide who to hire?
So going back to the company's handbook, what we're looking for in the team member is that they should be humble, hungry, and smart. So humble, hungry, and smart, definitely at the moment that you interviewed someone, it's not by looking at their resume. You need to interact with them. There has to be a connection to make sure that those three keys are there with them. So they have to be humble, is that they have to be kind. They know how to deal with anyone. Smart, they should be a fast learner, I would say. And then hungry should be a go-getter. We're looking for someone who's a go-getter.
And so, that's how you're hiring who you're hiring through the talent pool. Number 3, it's personalized matchmaking is what it is. We're like, okay, we have a client here and we think this person would work really well with that person. And we have different people in different teams. Some work better or worse together. You take that into account. Number 4, just going to lead with this. It's affordable. You make less in the Philippines than we do here in the United States. So when we charge our clients, it's not like, hey, you have your FICA taxes, your Social Security taxes. It's one of those things. Because we don't have to deal with all of that, not only can we pay you higher than what you would make, it's less than what we would pay other team members here in the United States. Unlike other staffing programs out there, we offer health insurance for you guys as well, too. So it's one of those things. We're not paying you a rock bottom wage where you can barely get by. No, we're paying you more than what you get in Manila, plus offering health insurance and other side benefits as well, too, which is really, really helpful. And then the 5th thing that Offsite Team offers is we offer ongoing support and monitoring. So it's not just like, hey, here's a team member, go do what it is. We'll also tell you, hey, here are our KPIs, which will help you optimize the rest of your business. Because that's really what it is. We're all about independent DMEs, independent respiratory companies coming together. Howard's wants to win. We want your DME company to win as well, too. Isn't that right, April?
Yes, that is correct. And if I can just add in regards to the KPI,
what is a KPI, by the way? Some people might not know a KPI.
It's a key performance indicator. So basically, that's our weekly goal. Every week we have our weekly goal, and whenever a team member is struggling, on top of that is that we make sure that we're monitoring by doing syncs with them, just to kind of see how it's going with them, if there's any issues that we might need to fix, or any help that they need, which is why the numbers are low. So that's one
and then we work on coaching them up to bring them up, like our fax wranglers.
Correct.
We know how many faxes they should do each day. We have a sales personnel, we have sales, our communications team. What's the average number of phone calls he or she should answer every single week? So we have these KPIs. So if a number does drop off, we can say, okay, is this person not capable, or do they just need more coaching, or is there something else? And we've, Howard's has been in business over 19 years. We've kind of figured it out. This is what we need to do to take really good care of our customers. And you guys are thoroughly bought into it, aren't you?
Yes. When you say take good care of our customers, I think it's the same way as what we do, which is why we have a lot of team members who stayed with us for long, even myself, because we always make sure that we're taking care of our team members. That way they can take care of our business.
Yeah, amen to that. So anyway, hey, podcast number 1, we've been talking about this, I don't know how many years. We finally did it, April. And so, hey, if anyone listening to this is excited, like, hey, maybe we might need 1 or 2 offsite team members, go to offsiteteammember.com and you can check us out there. You can also find us on LinkedIn, as well as we have a YouTube channel, you name it. But next episode, we're going to talk about what it's like to work through insurance prior authorizations with the offsite team. I'll just be honest. I hate working with insurances. It is so hard. And if it wasn't for you and the rest of the offsite team, I truly don't think we could stay in business. We need to have our offsite team working the back end. So, for example, like right now, our customers on our showroom, they're taking care of customers, but you need a workforce or an army behind them doing all the prior authorization requests in order to get paid by insurances. So we work very well together, but that's next week, April. Okay. So, well, hey, until then, hey, thank you for listening to the very first episode of Offsite Team's new podcast. Thank you, April. And until next week.
Thank you so much.